Hi guys, and welcome back to the Gigi Naturals Homestead channel. As promised, I'm back with the video for making our natural toothpaste. Now there are several ways that you can do this, and so you have to decide whether this way works for you or whether a more simplified way works for you. But I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to show you how I make it, and then you can determine whether you want to do something different, leave something out, whatever you want to do. All right. So let's go ahead and get started in the video and show you what products I'm going to be using for our natural toothpaste. Okay, these are going to be our ingredients for our natural toothpaste. Now, the first and main ingredient that we're going to use is going to be the coconut oil. This is a unrefined coconut oil. So when you're looking for something, some coconut oil, whether you want to just do oil pulling, whether you want to make natural products for your skin externally, look for the unrefined coconut oil. So here's what the unrefined Dr. Bronner's brand coconut oil. I'm not necessarily promoting a particular brand. I just say go with the one that you feel more confident and comfortable with. So we're going to use that coconut oil. We're going to also use some baking soda because we want to make sure that, and let me be specific and say that this is aluminum free baking soda. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're finding the aluminum free one. We have some eucalyptus. This came off of one of my little small eucalyptus trees. We have cloves because obviously we want to make sure that we do incorporate our cloves in our dental care. Here we have some pink salt. This is actually the Redmond's real salt. I know a lot of people have told me over time that they use the Redmond's real salt. What I normally use is the Celtic salt, and I use the one that's still kind of moist. I want it as unrefined as humanly possible, but I was out of it, so I used the Redmond salt. Now, if you prefer for your toothpaste to have a white color to it, then you can use the white kaolin clay. And then here is the bentonite clay, which has more of a grayish finish to it. Now, I went to my garden and pulled out some mint. I just got a little bit of mint, and I got a little bit of sage also from my garden. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the non-powdered ingredients. Okay, now for my fresh ingredients, I'm going to take them and put them over into a heat-safe container. Now you can also put these ingredients over in a mason jar. Like if you just had a mason jar and you wanted to do this same method, you can put them over in a mason jar. And y'all really told me about that Ceylon cinnamon and really gave me some good things to think about and research on about the Ceylon cinnamon. So I'm going to stick with the Ceylon cinnamon, but all of those ingredients, including the cloves, are going to go down into this heat-proof container. Okay, so now that we have all of those down in our heat-safe container, I'm going to take a cup of coconut oil, and I'm just going to cover this with a cup of coconut oil. Maybe that's a little bit more than a cup, but y'all already know it's hard for me to measure things. So that's roughly a cup of coconut oil. And I'm just going to get those fresh ingredients mixed into this coconut oil. And now we're going to sit this over into a pot of water, and we're just going to let it slowly heat for several hours in order just to extract some of the flavors and fragrances, antibacterial ingredients we want to infuse this coconut oil. And again, like I said, you can use a mason jar and you can sit this out and you can let it sun infuse. You can sit it out in the sun, but I don't want this to be an all-day process. And so I'm going to sit it over in a pot of water and I'm going to let it just slowly heat. I'm going to put it on low heat and I'm just going to let it slowly heat for several hours. Okay, so I just got a little water in here and I'm just going to sit the whole container over in the center and then just put it on the stove. It's been sitting for a little while, so let's go ahead and strain out the plant material. Now, you don't have to strain your plant material. If you have a super blender and you can blend this really, really fine. I've actually done it with the eucalyptus and the mint before. So if you want to do that, if that works for you, go for it. Do it that way. But I'm just going to strain all of this out because I want to get this process complete. Okay, so now that it's nicely strained, I'm just going to pour this right back into this container. So I'm going to take a cup of the bentonite clay. And I almost filled this 8-ounce container up with the bentonite clay, but I'm also adding a little kaolin clay, about ½ an ounce. And then I'm also adding an ounce of the Redmond salt. And I'm also adding an ounce of the baking soda. And now be sure, guys, again, to get the aluminum-free baking soda. And last but not least, we're going to drop some peppermint oil over in here. And I'm just going to put 2 of the droppers of peppermint oil. That's not quite strong enough, so I'm going to put a couple more droppers of the peppermint oil in there because I want the spice. I want all the spice. All right. Oh, that smells so good. And then I'm just going to use this frother to make sure that I've got the majority of the lumps and things out of it. Because I want this to pour as smooth as it can. Now it's going to have a little grit to it because we've put in salt, we've put in bentonite clay, we've put in white clay, we've put in baking soda. So if you have a frother on hand and you're able to use that, then definitely go ahead and give it a nice mix to kind of smooth it out a little bit more if at all needed, if necessary. Okay. Here are the little containers that you can get off of Amazon, and then just pour the mixture over into the containers. Now, if you feel like you need to use a funnel to do this, then you can absolutely do that. But I purposely used this heat-proof container that has a spout on it, so it can save me a little time. So this is what it looks like. That's how large it is. And I'm just going to let it sit for a while, and then I'll give it a test to see how it goes. Whether it's liquid or whether it's a little extra pasty, this is going to work regardless. It's going to help to remineralize your teeth. And y'all, we are at auntie, uncle, grandma, pop stage. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves from head to toe. If you haven't noticed by the videos that have been coming out recently, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to do our best to make sure that we have everything that we need. Okay, guys, we're all done. I filled up 9 of these. And so this is the way that I make the natural toothpaste. Of course, you don't have to go through all the things that I went through in order to do this. You don't have to try to infuse the oil or any of that. You can just take those natural ingredients, those raw ingredients, and melt that coconut oil, blend them together, and then just keep it pushing. You don't have to use these tubes. You can use a glass container. If you don't believe in plastic at all or any of that, you don't have to use these. Use glass container. Do it your way, but make sure that you're doing something. So let me know if you've ever tried this before, if you've ever made your own toothpaste before, and feel free to drop your ingredients in the comment section. I love to read you all's comments and see what you all have to say about the different ingredients and the way that I do things. I do them my way, you do them your way. So if we can all come together and combine the way that we do things, who knows what might happen? We may be able to create something really great. All right. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.